Hi! Today I thought it would be really nice to share with you 10 products, baby products that I absolutely wouldn't be without. It's one of the questions I get asked quite a lot, so I thought I would share 10 that I absolutely have loved having this time around with our third baby and that I would really recommend to anybody. So the first product I would recommend is number 1, the Snuzpod. We were very kindly sent the Snuzpod to review, but I would wholeheartedly recommend this and I would buy it if we hadn't been sent one. It has been an absolute lifesaver this time around and I wish I'd had it for all 3 of my children. Basically, if you're not familiar with the Snuzpod, it is a bedside cot that kind of attaches onto the side of the parent's bed. We found it just, or I guess I personally have found it just absolutely lovely to have my daughter right there next to me when she's asleep. I love the fact that when she wakes up in the morning I can just slide her across into bed with me for that first feed and I don't need to get out of bed. And I love the fact that if I have to feed her during the night, which fortunately doesn't happen very often anymore, but if I do have to feed her in the night, then she's literally 2 zips down and I can slide her across into the bed with me. I don't need to get out of bed, I don't need to get out in the cold, and she's easy obviously to put back again when she's fallen asleep. The great thing about it as well is that it's slightly bigger than like the typical Moses basket, so it's definitely going to last her for a while. She's 4 months old now and she still fits in it really well. I would say we'd definitely get another couple of months worth of use out of it. So it's a really good long-term product to have. If you don't want to have it attached to the bed, you could also use it as a standard Moses basket type crib. You could have it on another wall in your room, and the top part, which is the bassinet part that the baby sleeps in, can actually be lifted off of the base. And in the early days when our little girl was tiny, we used to bring the bassinet into the lounge with us and she could then fall asleep in the lounge and then we could take her to bed with us when we went to bed, which was definitely a really useful feature for us. My second product that I absolutely would not be without is the Aiden and A Serenity Star. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this in some videos before and I definitely know I've mentioned it in a blog post. It's a really good multi-purpose baby product. It's a nightlight, it's got a clock in it, it makes a variety of different noises. We are big fans of the white noise sound effect that it makes. Our daughter has the white noise on, although, well, we do too because she sleeps in with us. We have the white noise on all through the night. Which I find really, really useful because it means that we don't disturb her when we come to bed because the white noise kind of drowns that out, and it means that we don't hear every single snuffle and fidget in the night, which means I think we all sleep better with that on. The night light is just enough light that we don't need to turn big lights on in the night if we need to get up or to find our way to bed when we go to bed at night, which is really, really useful. And you can also use it, although I haven't used this particular feature, as a kind of as a sort of breastfeeding aid, so that you know when you can record what side you did your last feed on, so that you know what side to start the next feed on. So generally it's an all-round great product. It's got a built-in thermometer so that it glows white when the temperature's good, but it goes blue if it's too cold or red if it's too hot, which is really useful because at a moment's notice you can have a look at it and you know whether the temperature is safe for your baby and how to adjust their sleepwear accordingly. So that is definitely a product that I wish we had had for all 3 of our children because it has been a lifesaver. Number 3, another sleep product I'm going to recommend now is the Peanut Swaddle from Comfort and Harmony. We started off with the Grow Snug for our daughter, which is a zip-up swaddle, but that's designed for newborns, and our little girl hadn't grown out of that startle reflex when she grew out of the Grow Snug. So after some hurried Amazon searching in the middle of the night when we couldn't get her to settle without her Grow Snug, I stumbled across the Comfort and Harmony Peanut Swaddles and they've been brilliant. They're really thin. I wouldn't even say they're as thick as a Babygrow, but they're nice and snug and they look a little bit like a zipped up straitjacket, but you zip them into them. It's a 2-way zip, so you can unzip from the bottom if you need to change nappies in the middle of the night. But our daughter absolutely loves it. She sleeps like a dream in it. You can see her kind of stretching and relaxing and sort of snuggling into it when we zip her into it at bedtime. And she sleeps fantastically, so anything that's potentially going to help your baby sleep has got to get a big thumbs up. Number 4, another cot-based, bedtime-based product is a mobile. The kind of mobile that you hang above the bed and the baby can stare at. We didn't buy mobiles with the other 2 until much later on, and I'm not really quite sure why. I kind of had it in my head, I think, that they couldn't see very far, so why did they need one? I don't use it particularly as a sleep aid product, I guess, but we've got a lovely mobile from Velveteen Babies, which is just a really simple, beautiful things dangling down on a little kind of 6-pronged star, I guess, that hangs from a mobile arm that I just got cheaply off of Amazon. But I find that it is really useful to give her a play space in the bedroom. I don't put it on at bedtime because she can't really see it at bedtime because the bedroom tends to be a bit darker. I find it really useful during the day. I can put her down in her crib and then I can turn the mobile on and it just gives her something fun to watch. She absolutely smiles and coos at it when it's on, and it gives me a little bit of a chance to go and do some other things if I need to. Number 5, Babygrows. I am not sure why I was in such a hurry to get my older 2 children into proper clothes so early, because this time around we have been the Babygrow Brigade. Try saying that in a hurry. The Babygrow Brigade. Our little girl basically lives in Babygrows. She has got a couple of dresses now, they're starting to creep in, but literally like 2 things that aren't a Babygrow. They're comfy for a baby who basically spends a large proportion of her day and night asleep. Why would you want to wear anything other than gym jams? They do some fantastic colours and designs now. We've had basically all of her sleep suits and Babygrows have come from either Next, which does a great selection of like bright colours, florals, rainbows, which is a big favourite of mine, lots of yellow, also a big favourite, clouds, ditzy prints, all sorts of things that are absolutely lovely. We've also had some really great sleep suits from the Essential one. They've just brought out their new range, and there's some, again, a lot of lovely yellow, there's clouds, there's stars, lots of lovely bright things, and I think gone are the days where Babygrows are only sold in kind of anemic white and baby pink and baby blue, and they're bright and they're exciting and they make a really nice outfit, and they're comfy and warm and cosy, and it means you don't have to worry about them being uncomfortable when they nod off in the middle of the day, and you know that they're kind of already in some cosy gym jams. So Babygrows, buy lots of. That would be one of my big tips. Okay, my 6th tip, blankets. I am a little bit obsessed with blankets, and my daughter probably does have more than she needs, but I would definitely recommend having a variety of blankets. So I have got some muslin swaddle blankets, which are really thin, which are fantastic. They were brilliant for swaddling in to begin with, and now I tend to tuck her into a car seat with one of those because they're quite thin, and then I'll put a woolly blanket over the top for when we walk out to the car, and then I'll pull the woolly blanket back so that she's just got a thin blanket on when she's in the car. I would also recommend having some slightly bigger blankets. I've got a mixture of crocheted kind of woolen ones and some sort of jersey ones as well. They're really useful for sort of tucking an extra layer over. If they're asleep in their bouncy chair, if they're asleep in their cot or their crib, you can just kind of put it over, make sure it's tucked in down the sides so that it doesn't go anywhere. They also make a really useful play mat if you're out and about and you just want to put them down on the floor somewhere. You can put a blanket out and you know they're somewhere clean and safe to play. So definitely stock up on different blankets. My 7th item that I would definitely recommend, another one that we were sent to review but that I wholeheartedly recommend, is our Doona car seat. If you're not familiar with the Doona car seat, basically it is a car seat that has wheels that are folded up underneath so that you can wheel your baby to and from the car and to other places that you might be going. It's not a full-time buggy or pram, it's not designed for days out, it's not designed for long walks, it's designed for those occasions when you'd just keep your baby in a car seat. So when you put your baby in their infant car seat in the house and you walk them out to the car, that's quite heavy. Don't have to worry about it with the Doona because you can just push them on the wheels. They fold up underneath, it clips into a nice fixed space in the car, and for us it's an absolute godsend on the school runs, because when we're in a hurry it means that I can snuggle her into the Doona at home, still in her pyjamas normally, tuck her in with a blanket, and I know that I can get her to school, I can pop her out in the car seat at the other end, ping the wheels down, run across the road to school, and then get her back in the car really quickly without needing to get another pram or a buggy out. It's a really, really useful product. Everywhere we go it's commented on how helpful it is, how useful it is. Some people say they wish they had had one, or they wish that they knew about them. It's brilliant. It's really useful when you're out and about in public and you suddenly come across some stairs you need to climb up, or if you're on public transport, it's really easy that you can just clip the wheels up underneath, lift it up some steps and then put them back down again at the other end. I wouldn't be without ours. I think it's a brilliant product. My 8th thing I'd really recommend is a bath prop. Our bath prop came from Mamas and Papas, and we've actually had it for all 3 of our children. We bought it instead of buying a baby bath, which I think is a very short-term product and something that you don't actually end up really using that much. The bath prop also means that right from the start our babies have been able to have their bath in our big main bath, which means right from the start our baby daughter has been able to bath with her older brother and sister. As you can see, basically you suction it onto the bottom of the bath, run the bath as normal, and it just means that you've got your hands a little bit more free at bath time. Obviously you wouldn't walk away and leave the baby there, because our baby now is getting a bit wriggly and she could quite easily fall out of it if she was really trying to. But it just means that you haven't got to physically hold the baby in the bath the whole time. She's reclined, she's sort of comfortable, she's in the water, and it means that it makes it a lot easier to wash her and also to keep one hand on her and to wash the bigger two if I need to as well. So it's a really, really useful product. We've used it from our first baby and it's just continued to be useful with the second and the third as well. Number 9, another product that's really useful if you're looking at having your second or your third child. I didn't do baby wearing or baby carrying with my first son. I think I was really worried about having made a rod for my own back somehow by carrying the baby around all the time. Fortunately, he wasn't a particularly clingy, needy baby. He was quite happy to sit in a bouncy chair. But if you are having your second or your third and you still need to be able to get things done, like make the dinner or the lunch or make yourself a drink, or have a bit of a tidy up around the house, I really think baby wearing is the way to go. We've had the fantastic wuti wrap from We Made Me, which I have been using in the house and out of the house with our baby. It was particularly useful in those early days when she would particularly be whingy or upset at around about the time I needed to make dinner. You could set your clock by her, and it was really difficult because the big two children needed my attention, they needed my help cutting up their dinner, they needed my help making them drinks, actually physically cooking the dinner, and I couldn't also put the baby down because she just screamed. So the wuti wrap made it really, really helpful for me because it meant that she was safe, she was close to me, she'd then be calm and I could get on with what I needed to do. So if you are having a second or a third child, I would definitely say make sure that you get yourself a wrap, baby carrier, because they are fantastic. I love how snuggly and cosy she feels in it. It hasn't got any firm structure to it, so it just feels really soft, and yeah, she really likes it and I really like it too, because it means I can focus on all the jobs I have to do as a mummy, not just focused on looking after her. My 10th and final thing I would definitely say you need to get access to if you are having a baby, whether it be your first, your 5th, your 9th, your 11th, is make sure that you have got some access to box sets, whether that be Netflix, whether that be Amazon Prime, whether it be on Sky, or whether it be actual physical DVD box sets. We have ploughed through all sorts of television since our baby came along, because you spend a lot of time sitting about. You spend a lot of time either sitting around and nursing, or trying to rock them off to sleep, or just generally cuddling them and looking after them, and it is hard to get a lot of other stuff done. But I would definitely say use that time wisely. There are some fantastic shows out there that are worth watching, and if you're in a box set, you can kind of stop it and start it and pick it up and watch a few, or watch one, or watch half of one before you fall asleep, which often happens in this house. But I would definitely say make sure you've got some access to some good TV, because you will be spending a fair amount of time glued with your bottom to the sofa. I hope you found my 10 baby products list really helpful. If you've got any other questions or any vlogs like this that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments and I will hopefully try and answer any questions that you've got. Make sure you like and subscribe so that you don't miss any more of my videos, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!